Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video where we've rather excitingly got a brand new one of the classic Doctor Who collection Blu-ray box sets announced today. It's been season 14, so what can we expect? So yes, it's the set that's been long rumoured for months, frankly, that season 14 was going to be the next one to be released. Tom Baker's third season as the Doctor, the season that sort of ran over 1976 and 77, featuring 6 pretty high quality stories pretty much across the board, and also a fair few kind of quite significant stories, I think it's fair to say. So this features the opener of the Mask of Mandragora, then The Hand of Fear, which is Elizabeth Sladen's last story as Sarah Jane Smith, followed by The Deadly Assassin, which is the first sort of proper Gallifrey story that we ever saw, where pretty much the whole story is set on Gallifrey itself, which is certainly something quite exciting. After that, The Face of Evil, which introduces Louise Jameson's Leela as the new companion for the first time. The Robots of Death, a classic sort of murder mystery whodunit type story. And then The Talons of Weng-Chiang, which again is an all-time classic, really Victorian setting, almost Sherlock Holmes type storyline to it to an extent. So it's a really kind of quite consistent season. I think probably one of my favourite seasons of the classic series, and one that certainly I think people have been waiting a while to sort of hope to get a release and get stuck into these episodes in this season. As always, it's a set packed with special features and new content in general. Obviously all the episodes have been restored to the best possible quality as is standard. Quite excitingly, we've got the CGI effects, or brand new effects for the Talons of Weng-Chiang, so we're finally going to get a new CGI version of the rat from in the sewers from Talons of Weng-Chiang that was sort of infamously an absolutely terrible effect that they did. It just looked awful, but having looked at the couple of shots we saw of it in the trailer, it actually looks alright for the first time, so that's quite exciting to be able to see that. Alongside that, we've also got a 5.1 surround sound soundtrack to The Deadly Assassin, which is something I personally always look forward to with these Blu-ray sets, is any stories that can get a 5.1 soundtrack, because I found that even listening on headphones, for example, the 5.1 soundtrack is just so much more immersive than the standard stereo 2.0 track, so I'm very much excited and looking forward to listening to that one and seeing how that's going to enhance the story of The Deadly Assassin. Alongside that, there's the usual new documentaries along with the original ones as well. The one in particular that I'm very much looking forward to is a sort of retrospective documentary looking at the life of Elizabeth Sladen, because of course it features her last story as Sarah Jane Smith in this season, so it seemed apt to kind of do a proper full documentary on her life, her career, and just everything about her as a person, which I think is something I'm really, really excited for. One of the kind of the big main feature documentaries of this box set. I think it's around an hour and 20 minutes long, with interviews from a whole wide range of people, including David Tennant, which I'm quite excited to see, because he hasn't really done, I think he hasn't had any contribution to the certainly the classic Blu-ray range, at least so far. And it looks like, at least from the trailer, quite a recent interview with him, which is certainly something to look forward to. And I think it's just great to have a proper full overview and retrospective documentary on Elizabeth Sladen, having sort of being such an iconic character as Sarah Jane Smith of both classic Doctor Who and New Who and a spin-off, and just as a person, such a wonderful person as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to being able to kind of just watch a proper heartfelt documentary about the life of Elizabeth Sladen. One of the more interesting and unexpected kind of bonus features for this is a documentary looking at the making of a documentary. So the first ever documentary that was really made about Doctor Who was aired back in 1977, the day after the last, I think it was the last episode of Talons of Weng-Chiang aired. And it was called Who's Doctor Who, and it was kind of as I say, the first proper kind of documentary about the programme, the making of it, speaking to the people involved, getting fan opinion as well, and combining it all into a 60-minute documentary. So it was quite a significant thing at the time to be the first ever one, and we'll get that full documentary included in this box set as it was on the DVD releases of Talons of Weng-Chiang, along with some sort of retrospective documentary about the making of this documentary, speaking to various people who were involved in it. I think some of the people who were probably children who were interviewed on this programme are now adults, watching back some of the clips they probably haven't seen for 40 years, which will certainly be quite entertaining. So not quite, maybe a bit of a bizarre feature that was a bit unexpected, but certainly sounds like quite an interesting one and something I'm very much looking forward to having a watch of. Along with that, there's the now kind of standard new behind the sofa features where we get various cast and crew from the past basically sitting down and watching Doctor Who in a Gogglebox style. For this one, we've got Tom Baker, Philip Hinchcliffe and Louise Jameson on one sofa, and then we've got Sophie Aldred and Peter Purvis on another sofa who are enjoying the stories. So that's certainly always a fun sort of additional feature to each of the individual stories. And along with that, the in conversation sort of hour-long interview that Matthew Sweet has done with various cast and crew for this particular series is of Philip Hinchcliffe, who was the sort of executive producer of the programme at the time, and sort of oversaw what is probably generally considered to be one of the most popular eras of Doctor Who, and generally the sort of best potentially eras of Doctor Who. Certainly, in fan opinion, a lot of these stories through sort of season 13 and 14 are particularly highly rated. So I'll be very interested to hear what he has to say about his sort of era as a whole. Alongside that, of course, we'll have all the original special features and bonus material from the previous DVD releases, making of documentaries for all the stories, various new interviews, archive features from different sort of programs from the time, and just everything that creates the perfect immersive and exciting Doctor Who sort of Blu-ray collection that really feels like a full documentation of each of these stories, how they were put together and the sort of reception of them and features around them at the time. So there's certainly going to be loads to get our teeth into. The season 14 Blu-ray of Doctor Who, which is released on the 20th of April 2020, so we've got about 3 months to wait, unfortunately, but do get your pre-order in now if you actually want it, because it's going to sell out like they always do. They fly off the shelves. I think this one's already got to pretty much #1 on the pre-order list, having been only announced this morning, which is bonkers, on Amazon, which is crazy. So if you want to get it, do hit the pre-order button now, because I already have. I certainly will be getting this because it's just a fantastic, looks like it's got so many fantastic features in it to create a great documentation of another brilliant series. So yes, do let me know down in the comments below, guys, what you're most excited about for this particular Blu-ray release, if there's any particular documentaries or just watching some of these episodes again that you're most excited for, and also let me know what seasons you'd like to be released in the future or the next few coming up. The rumours are that season 20, Peter Davison's second season, is most likely to be at least at some point this year, if not the next one to be released, and potentially also a black and white season, but we don't really know quite which one it's going to be at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see on that one, really. But I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. As always, remember that like button, that subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you again very soon for another one. Goodbye!